Hi friends, it's me Marlene here again with Uniquely Ella, and today for a change I have a little tutorial for you, and hopefully you can pick up some ideas for your next project. I'm going to be showing you how I transform these vintage bingo cards so that I can use them in some of my Christmas journals, but they can be anything you like. They don't have to be Christmas. But let me show you a few examples. I pulled out some of my favorite ones. I'll show you up close so that you can see. This was a really fun project. I did a lot of them, but you don't have to, when you're doing yours, you do like 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. I did a whole bunch, so it took me a little bit longer, but they don't really have to. And I don't know if you can see, but I got a little, I started with some stickles and I switched to glitter, and I'll show you why. Look how cute. And I'm going to list all my resources, all the cutouts, so you can see the glitter there, all the cutouts and everything. This is another one of the candle, but it's a little bit different. Actually, I made a whole bunch of them. These are so much fun, and they don't really take up a lot of time either. And you can use your scraps that you have. Nothing has to be perfect or cut evenly or anything. You can use whatever you have. And it was relatively inexpensive. And I'll show you right now everything. I like this image so much of the kids carrying the, see, you can see the glitter. This was super fun to make, and they're not hard at all. So let's get started, okay? Let me get all my supplies ready. Okay friends, so here we are. Let's get set up. These are the basic supplies that you're going to need. You don't really need anything fancy, just your favorite, whatever your favorite glues are. I'm going to just warn you that some of my supplies are very loved, very much loved. They're used. They might have a little bit of, my glue gun is not the cleanest, but that's because I use my stuff. So, favorite cutting tool, whatever that is, some kind of glue with a small tip for your glitter, or you can use stickles. I try stickles, but I like the bang that the finer German glitter gave me, so I decided to use that. So you need something with a small tip, or something that'll let you spread the glue, something like that. Of course, your distress inks, whatever you're going to choose to use. I like Vintage Photo for everything, most of everything. It gives me that nice little touch. You're going to need some tinsel. I'm going to use this. I've had it for a real long time, and I love it. It's like pink, and it's really pretty. I've had it for a while. Actually, I don't know if it's Melissa Francis. I don't know whose it is. But I have a few of them because I knew I was not going to be able to find them when I wanted them. So you're going to need that. Of course, you're going to need your bingo card, whatever you choose to. I love bingo cards, any kind. I'm going to be using this one right here. This is not a vintage bingo card. Well, it's not that old, but it is. I found it in an old, like maybe 70s game or something. And I gave it a little wash with tea, and I have some that I dye with tea and some that I dye with coffee, just to give them a little bit of a, I don't know, just so they look more vintage. These are just some that I have. I think this is Jenny Bowling, I think, but you can use any that you like. See, these is from a real bingo game also. The letters are in blue, which I could have used, but I like these, and that's. And my bingo cards, I was asked before, where do I find these? I find them junking around. You can get them on eBay. You can get them on Etsy. I buy almost everything on Etsy because that's where I sell. So I like to support all the other vendors. But you can find them anywhere. And if you want to make them look old, you can distress the ends, the edges, or tea dye them if you like. You're going to need, for your border, you're going to need a piece of book page, whatever book page you like. For your fabric, you're going to need a sheer fabric, which is the fabric that I have on the back. But you can use any fabric you like. But I have like a sheer fabric back here. I don't know if you can see it. any sheer fabric that you like for the back, just to kind of veil the bingo card a little bit. And I'm going to use this little Swiss dot looking fabric, which is really something. This is not old, this is new, and it's from a Bolt. I got this, I think this was a Joanne or Michaels or something. It's coming out a little bit dark. Let me see if you can see better. But when you cut it up, it looks very sheery, like very pretty. So I'm going to be using that. And then for my other fabric, guys, I found this not too long ago, and I think, I don't know why. Let me see if maybe if I make it brighter, is it better? I don't know. Or like this. I found this fabric. I am in love with this fabric because I think it looks so boho. I think this is a curtain, and I don't think it's that old, and it frays beautifully. I've been using it on my last few projects, and I like it so much that that's just what I'm going to use for my little ruffle on the bottom. And I went ahead and I ruffled it ahead of time, and it's kind of like tattered at both edges. So that's what I'm going to be using. What else? Oh, you're going to need your glitter, whatever glitter you want to use, or if you want to use stickles. I'm going to collect my glitter in this little tray right here. Let me brighten it up. And these are the pieces that I'm going to be glittering. I'm going to be using German glitter, and I keep all my glitters in salt and shakers because it's so easy. And then you're going to use a little brush, whatever you like, just to kind of dust off the glitter on the area that you don't want it to be in. So it's just basic supplies that you'll need for this. Some of them you already have. So you're going to start with your bingo card. And like I said, mine is tea-dyed already, but it's not enough. So I'm going to grunge the borders a little bit more. Not too much, but a little bit. Because this little bit really does make a big difference. Big difference. Okay, so then my backing. For my backing, I chose, because I love anything, I like the script of an old book. I just love it. So actually, if you really want to use this as a journaling card, when I forgot to mention, you're going to need, I forgot 2 more pieces. You're going to need a doily. Vintage or tea-dye would be preferable, but I don't have one. So I'm going to try to make this look old. And you're going to need a little snowflake, any snowflake of your choice. This is from the dollar store, and you get like a whole bunch of them in a little packet. Very inexpensive, so you're going to need that. I forgot those 2 things. Okay, so for my backing, to back up the bingo card, I used book pages, but you can use the book pages for that little peekaboo here all around. I think it looks really pretty. But if you actually want to use it as a journaling card, you can take that a step ahead and add just a piece of tea-dye paper here that's blank, and then you can journal in the back if you like. I chose not to do that because I think I'm going to use them as embellishment, maybe on my smaller pages as I flip them. I might just glue it on a page. I don't know. Okay, so let's get started. So we already did the de-stressing. Now I want to do my paper in the back, and I'm just using Fabri-Tac because I love this glue. So I'm going to make sure I do the borders. It doesn't matter because nobody's going to see the back, but just want to make sure that it stays on in there well. There goes the little cover. I want to make sure that I can see the print, that I'm going to get a little bit of the print on every angle, I think. Well, the bottom doesn't matter because the bottom is going to be covered. But I want to make sure I get print here, and print here. Me, because I want to have some of that book page kind of peekaboo to the front. So this is fun, and these are Christmas, but they don't have to be Christmas. They can be whatever you want. Like your layers can be, this would make a great little Easter embellishment too. And now I like to do it by hand. I could do it with the ruler, but the little edges that I get with doing it by hand is like no other. And this is a really old book, so it just comes right off very easily. And like I said, here on the bottom, it doesn't really matter. I can do that real fast because that's gonna be covered with the ruffles and everything else. And then a little bit more. This is too big. A little bit more on this side. Not too much. There we go. So that's kind of like a little bit of my foundation. Let's get rid of the garbage. Okay, so more de-stressing. Actually, it was a very productive day. I have done three videos in one day. I can't believe it, which is good for me. Here we go. Actually, I'm filming this on the day before my birthday. My birthday's tomorrow, November 10th. I don't know what day this is going to show up. Probably I might load this up today. And it's also our wedding anniversary. So I got married on my birthday. And you know, 1 year I forgot my anniversary. I was so embarrassed. But anyway, my hubby's off this whole week, and because all that's going on and stuff, we decided to, I don't know, in our heart, we didn't find it to go, you know, someplace far or whatever. So we're just doing little things locally. But he's here the whole week, and I'm so excited because I love when my husband's home. Okay, so now for my clear piece of fabric that I'm going to put on top, which is this one right here. And how I like to do this is that I like, see, this is a little too long on this side. Let me see if I can get one of those, if I can get it to rip. If I can't, then I'll cut it. But if I can get it to rip, it would be better because I like anything that's, there we go. Thank you, Jesus. So I got it to rip a little, which is great. So now I need to hold this for just a little bit because I want to sew around it. Again, you don't have to, if you don't sew, you don't have to sew. If you don't have a sewing machine, that's fine. You don't have to do that. You can just tack it in the little corners or something with glue, and that's fine. So I'm going to use just my little glue gun. This glue gun is like 100 years old, and I love it. It's very old, but it works. Just little dots, not very much, just to kind of hold it in place while I sew it. Just tiny little dots. And that's really the best way. None of this is going to show really once you get your stitching. Just enough for you to hold it in place while you sew it. And if you don't want to, like I said, if you don't want to sew it, you can just leave it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to sew all the way around it, and I'll be right back. So don't you all go anywhere. I'll be right back. Okay, I used a zigzag all the way around, but you can use any stitching that you like. Let me bring you up a little bit closer. I don't know if this will help. Maybe this will help. So this is my foundation. So now that your foundation is ready, then the fun part begins, because now you get to embellish however, ever you like. First thing I did was that I did a whole lot of it is not going to show through. Let me show you. See how you can see it here, but not too much? The doily. First thing you do is you put your doily on. Now you start building up your layers. You put your doily on. Like I said, it's better if, for me, it would have been better if my doily was de-stressed already or tea-dyed or something, but it's not. It's a new one. So I cannot make it look, I need to make it look old. So I'm going to just start with my corners a little bit. Not too much. Just enough to, like, you know, kill some of this white. Not make it be so white. Guys, these were so relaxing. Once I got them going, they were just super relaxing. And just a little, because it's like, you know, I did all my doilies first, and then I did all my snowflake, and then, you know, it went actually very smooth. I'm going to cut my, what I did actually was that I cut the doily in half, and I got to use one doily for 2 cards. So I don't bother with the bottom because none of it is going to show. It could be a little bit darker. Not too much. So that's going to be here. Like I said, a lot of it is not going to show. But my guideline is that I wanted to keep the center kind of, which I'm going to end up covering anyway. But that was like the guideline from my doily, was to kind of not cover the center here. So for my little doily, what I used was this glue. I love it. So what have you guys been up to? A little bit here and here. I hope you're being creative, guys. You know, Christmas snuck up on me. I got so involved in fall because I love fall, but I love Christmas too. That before I knew it, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even have my Christmas supplies out yet. Okay, so that's my doily. Now for my little snowflake. I love the snowflake. And I think I'm going to put him like this in an angle so some of it comes off the card just for a little bit of interest. And it doesn't matter because right here I'm going to put an embellishment, so it doesn't matter if that shows. Oh, this is the glittery part. You see this part is more glittery. So I'm going to put my glue there. I only put glue here and it was fine. They all stayed. I put a lot, but they all stayed. So I want it to be off the page a little bit for some interest. So that's it. That's that layer. So at this point I did my lace under here. You can work however you want. This is the piece of lace that I chose, which you can use either way. You can use it like this, or you can use it like this. I think I like anything that's uneven, that's tattered. So I think I'm going to use it like that. See, that'll work. So that's going to eliminate this edge. And you want to be a little liberal on this. Not too much, but you don't need a lot, but just, you know, because it's fabric and it's very absorbent. You know, like it sucks it up. So I used a little bit. Maybe I need a little bit more here. I just want to hold it in place, but I don't want it to wobble from the top. Is that a word, wobble? But you know what I mean. Okay, so that's that. So that's my little foundation right there. So now I did the placement of the cards. This is what you'll do next. Let's put this aside, and I like to embellish my little ephemera before I put it on the actual bingo card because it makes my life a lot easier. So I have my little tray here to catch my glitter right here. And let me show you. I did all these pieces. I did every one of them, but I'm going to show you how I did it in the big card because it will be a lot easier. So I think since I'm going with in this case, I have some that I've already finished that are the ones that I'm going to use, only because I don't want to wait for the glue to dry. But if I was using this actual one, and since I'm using ornaments as my little featured little ephemera pieces, I would go ahead and I would go ahead and glitter all my ornaments. So all of my ornaments would be like my feature little pieces. That's how I would do it. So very simple, guys. If you never work with glue, with glitter in salt and pepper shakers, I really recommend it. I have like a little funnel thing that I put here, and I rinse the funnel and let it dry between glitters because I don't want to transfer any other colors. But then I keep my how do you say, not supply, my resupply stash in another area, and then I keep my pretty bottles with what I'm using right now in this little carousel that I have. So this is what I would do. I would do the entire ornament. In this case, like I said, I might, you know, it might even be pretty to use the little ferns. The entire ornament. Close up my glue, and then just pour on the glitter. And then whatever is done, I just shake it off. And then to put it back in the bottle, at first I make sure that this is clean. I just undo my cork and put it back in the bottle. So let me show you. See how pretty that looks? Let me see if it'll show it up close. Not too much. I didn't put too much glitter, but you can put more glitter if you like. But there's glitter in there. So let's put these little babies aside because I want them to dry, because I'm going to use some of those in another project, but I will. So what I do, once the glitter has dried, I don't even do it when the glitter is wet. I do it when the glitter has dried out. because they don't really stick because I didn't put any glue, but I get glitter all over the place. So I come with a little brush just to make it real neat. And I dust off because all this, I don't know, I think by doing that, it gives more focal. You can see more just the areas that you really did mean to glitter up. So I just kind of dust it all off really well. This one doesn't have too much. Just take it all off. And then this is the main piece that I'm going to be using. Isn't it pretty? I love it. And since like I went with ornaments, just like that other piece, I'm going to use for my other little focal pieces, I'm going to use this sweet little ornament. Super cute. He's all glitter up too. And then this, and I'm going to link all of my supplies underneath. And this pretty little, I want to say it's like an upside down mistletoe or something. I like it a lot. I'm going to use that one. So these will be my little embellished pieces. Okay, so back to my bingo card now that I finished all my glue. So what I did is I did all my glitter and glue first and just let them all dry. That way they were ready. So when I was at this stage, they were ready to use. Okay, I use my glue gun for this. If you want to give this like a lot of 3-dimension, you can use like little pieces of foam underneath if you like, you know, whatever you like to use, you could. If you want to give it like more dimension and more height on the different levels of the embellishments that we're going to use, but I didn't because I wanted to go on a journal and I don't know how fat these journals are going to get, so I don't want to add extra volume if I don't have to. Okay, so my little card, I want to put this little card here because if I put my snowflake over there, I would have put my card here, but I think I want to put it here and I'm going to put it in a little angle like that. I wanted to cover that little tip and that. And my guideline is that I would have liked to keep, see how I told you that this was going to show? Can't help, this was not going to show, can't help that. So maybe up a little bit like that. So I'm going to use my glue gun. Plenty of glue in the glue gun because none of this is going to show like sloppy glue. Like that. A little bit out of the, that's it. I don't want to damage the glitter that I already put in. So that's that. Yep. There we go. Then here, I think I want to put a little something there, but I'm not sure. Maybe I might want to put the little bow with the little mistletoe thing like that. So find a spot that you're comfortable with, that you're happy with, and then just go for it. I think I'm happy with it like this. I think that looks cute. So that goes there. Now, my other step is going to be to embellish down here a little bit. And I'm going to be using my little ruffle. I chose this ruffle, which I really like. So that's going to go on there like that. Just like that. So I'm going to run my glue like that. Then you work a little bit fast because you don't want your glue to dry out. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be super straight. It doesn't, as a matter of fact, if it looks a little wonky, it's kind of cute. It's different. And I like that this material is like a little see-through so you can still see the little ornament underneath. Kind of really like that. But if this is covering too much of ornaments, you can do this. I think it is too. For me, it's covering a little too much. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Make like a little pleat, like a little down pleat. Just a little down pleat like that. So it'll bring my little ruffle down a little more. Just a little. Because remember, I'm going to put my tinsel there, so none of this little, you know, fake pleat is going to show. See, so I'm just bringing the little pleat down a little bit. It was too high. It was too high, and I think it was covering my card too much. So everything is fixable to a crafter. There's really nothing we cannot fix. So see how I just made my pleat a little bit shorter here in this spot that here I don't care, but here I do. So that's that. So now for my little tinsel, it's going to be like this. And I think this tinsel really ties everything together. Is that how you call this tinsel? I think it is. Does it say? No. But if you don't, you know what I mean. Okay, so I want to just do half on this one. I like to do, because I'm not familiar with this material, so I want to work on halves. So I'm just going to do this half first. See how that's kind of like wonky all over the place? I like that. And then I'm going to do the other half right here. Tuck it right in with that. And however I want it to glue is perfectly fine with me. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be straight. Actually, nothing here is straight. This is not straight, that's not straight, that's not anything. I love it. So now I left this a little longer on this side for a purpose, because that's going to be my background for my little focal glitter embellishment. I think that would look really cute right here. Yeah, I think that would look really pretty right here. Yep, why not? So you guys, you see, a little bit of glue. And then this little cute guy goes right here. Hold it down a little bit, because the ruffle makes it want to pop up. And that's okay, but I just want it down a little bit more. And that's it. If I really want to, I have these real cute, oh, let me see, where did I put them? I just had them not too long ago. Here they are. I have these little tags. I've shown them before, and I punched, and I have some in pink, red, different colors. I mentioned in one of my other videos that I got this idea from Jill Norwood, and she mentioned the stamp. This is a stamp that we fussy cut afterwards. So if I wanted to, I don't know, let me see how it's going to look, because I already have words on the top. You know how it is that we cannot stop. I have words on the top, but it doesn't matter, I think. I have words on the top, so I don't want it to have too much words. But I don't care. It'll have too much words. Too many words. So I'm going to tuck the little, and then that'll go like that. You can actually open a little hole and put a little string on it if you want. I like that. Why not? God, maybe I'll add some on the other ones too. I didn't do that. So that's it. There is your vintage bingo card. All dressed up and pretty for you to use on your next journal. Let me show you up close. Already. Can you see the glitter? How pretty. And like I said, guys, I'm going to link everything underneath. Everything that I used. So you saw how easy this was, just a couple of steps, and look, you get a beautiful little thing for your journal. This can even be like a layered thing on the top of a journal. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Any feedbacks, let me know. If I didn't explain something well, let me know. I'm kind of new to tutorials, but I'm going to try my very best, because I promised. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. God bless. Bye bye.